members of parliament, instead of discussing the details of loans, they asked for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
To you, it's a good morning, a cold one, but we thank the Lord that the rains are rather light. At least they started the day light, and we keep the traders in the Central Business District of Kampala in our prayers that indeed at the end of the day this will be remembered as history. History where lessons are learned and compensation and good comes out of this whole mess where hearts are being broken. But for now, it's time for the agenda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and it's the road to 2026, as obviously as it is. And we want to look at the roles of the police, the community, but also the candidates. And to have that conversation with us is Anatoli Muleterwa, Commissioner Community Policing at the Uganda Police Force. And given that the road to 2026 started a long time ago, but with presidential candidates campaigning, it's about a month in. And so far, the general perspective on ground, common perspective at least, is that the journey so far is quiet. It's low-key, it's rather peaceful, except for a few cases here and there. For example, what happened in Lira with the NUP candidate. A few cases here and there, really, but it hasn't blown out of proportion like it usually does. But as matters politics always play, while it looks like 6 to you, to the other it's a 9, and all are justifiable perspectives. So why not, of course, learn from lawmakers as their perspective stands, because they usually come with the law, and the law always presents facts to you. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage and be part of the conversation. Now, before I invite Afande Anatoli in it, somebody did get in touch. Earlier on, we were talking about the incident that took place in Budaka district, where candidate Nandela Mafabi was campaigning, and NUP supporters got into his campaign trail with a poster of the NUP candidate and caused chaos. By the end of the whole process, shootings had taken course from that side of Uganda. We're just sharing our 2 cents alongside you, and someone came through and said, but I've watched the police have been provoking, trailing and blocking Chagulanyi on his campaign rallies. And you say that you've never had us on Good Morning Uganda condemn it or talk about it. Well, I beg to differ, because we've always indeed condemned where the hand of the police is beyond its mandate. Indeed. So anyways, I thank you though for your perspective and for making sure that you're sharpening us as we sharpen each other. Thank you, and I hope you do also contribute. The good thing is that we have someone from the hand of the law in regards to that. Good morning, Afande.
Juliet.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Fine, thank you. You know, you started by mentioning my name.
Yes.
And the first instinct
You are
was...
my moderator.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
The first instinct was, uh-oh, what have I said? Because
Yes.
I'm sitting next to...
No, the mention of the name is emphatic.
Yes.
How are you?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda. You know, I'm the one now hosting
You're the one
you.
hosting me. I would love that. It would be lovely to be for you to be in this seat.
Yes, thank you. How's everything? Otherwise, on a lighter end, that is, I want to thank everybody.
Yes.
And I know so many of you are viewing this program. This is a program which we need to sit, watch, learn, and share. Because there is nothing short of information that can make you do a lot.
Right.
You know, I tell people whenever I go to for talk shows like this one, that the bloodstream of the police is information. Nothing short of that, because without information, we can't do much. So when we come on a platform like this, we really, we become overwhelmed, we become enlightened, we become joyful, because we are getting in touch with the community.
All right.
Happy being on the program, wish you the best.
Right. So far, the campaign has been judged by most people as one that is so far peaceful. It's not like the other campaigns we're used to. 2020. By this time, it was already all over the place. Tension was in the place. But this time around, so far, there's peace.
Yeah.
Or it's quiet, it's low-key. You might think there are no campaigns going on.
No, generally speaking, we can regard the atmosphere as being calm, normal, to the expectations of everybody. Because why I say so? None of us loves anarchy. Because none of us has ever been told how anarchy can reward you. But peace can reward you. And therefore, it is very important that we all cherish this. But like I've said earlier on, in the Bible, Jeremiah was one of the greatest prophets. And he had a lot of social challenges. So at one time, the Lord God told him to summarize his book. And this is what he had to say. The past is destruction. The present is judgment, and the future is hope. Now, having looked at our past, we would not want to carry that past to the present, nor even the future. Where we had those challenges, we had to learn from them. Just like you earlier on said, we learn from history. So we must be able to learn from history. Where do we want to take Uganda? Whom does Uganda belong to? Now, if Uganda belongs to all of us, the other question is, you know, in our training we have a song. Who will build Uganda? Ni nani atajenga Uganda? Uganda itajengwa na sisi wenyewe. So we must really desire and aspire for peace, because Uganda belongs to all of us. Uganda is ours, and we all have a stake in it, for which we need to see a better future for it. Now, Juliet, I want to remind our esteemed viewers that in elections, we have three punctuations. We have what we call the pre pre-election period. This started way back in 2025, and I want to inform everyone that there were a lot of stakeholders engagement. We are seeing people who have now matured, who are now sensitizing that there is a need for peace. So it is not something that should be taken for granted. We need to consolidate on it and take it further than that by asking ourselves, am I playing my role as expected and as a voter? Are you playing your role as expected and as a voter? Because when we talk about this season, there are four, like earlier on talked about it when I was in the previous talk show here. We have four categories of people. We have the police on one part. We have the political candidates on the other side, including their agents and the like on the other side. We have the main man, the Electoral Commission on the other part, and then we have the general public. The general public. So all these entities in this circle have a role, very clearly stipulated in the Constitution, in the electoral, other electoral laws, and even in our Police Act, because you know, we are enjoying to work together with you in ensuring peace and stability prevail everywhere we are, right, even when it is not an election period.
All right, on that note, Afande, allow me interject. When you say that the police is supposed to work together with us within our different roles as mandated by the government of Uganda, does that mean that the police's roles are based on our roles?
We are enjoined. We are enjoined. You see, there is a supreme law called the Constitution. And the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda in Article 2, is it Article 2 or Article 3, something like that? I'm not so sure. But it clearly states the duties of every citizen. Duties of every citizen. And it is not article. It's not... But I can remember one of the articles that we always refer to in the Constitution, Article 17, among the duties of every citizen, which says that it is the duty of every citizen to cooperate with lawful agencies in the maintenance of law and order. That is very cardinal, and that is from the Constitution. Then, when you come to our role, our duty, in the very Constitution, in Article 212, it says, the Uganda Police Force shall protect life and property, preserve law and order, detect and prevent crime, but above all, to cooperate with all the security agencies, the local population, I mean the local leaders, and the population generally. Juliet and all our esteemed viewers will agree with me or not that I have seen you, Juliet. Do I know where you stay?
No, you don't.
Do I know what the property you have? No. I can only be effective in ensuring that I protect you on information and when we work together, and that is the cooperation, both in the citizens' duties and that of the police, which makes us stronger, because united we can be able to stand.
All right, in the midst of all the stakeholders that are part of the journey, Road to 2026, in our different roles, how far is your mandate and what boundaries does the Uganda Police Force operate within where it doesn't cross, and that it's other security organizations that have to come in thereafter?
Our boundaries or our whatever are clearly stipulated in the law. By the way, let me even emphasize this to everyone, that Uganda Police Force is the leading agency in the in the enforcement of all laws internally. So there is virtually no limitation on our enforcement of the laws, as long as they are laws that are enacted by Parliament and handed over to the Uganda Police Force to enforce. We must do that. But in doing that, we call upon everyone, because this is a constitutional requirement that we work together. So whether you are in the UPDF, whether you are a local leader or you are UA or Uganda Prison Services, we all work together. But the problem which sometimes our people tend to overshoot is when we talk about cooperating with the other security agencies, they don't even think that they also have a duty. The Constitution Article 212D talks about cooperating with the local leaders, other security agencies, and the population generally, not to a limited extent, generally, and these are legal words in the Constitution. So that is the far to which we can be able to move. But that said, there are other duties as a citizen that must be emphasized. One is that you must be able to respect your leaders, respect other national symbols, all of that. You are even called upon to pay taxes as a wananchi. But above all, even in that very constitution, says every able-bodied Ugandan shall undertake training militarily. That should need arise for the protection of your country, you will be called upon to what? To protect your country. So this business of saying, Imbu, you know, I am a citizen, please read the law. Read the law. And really, I want to call upon, don't begin reading the law selectively. Especially, you know, I have always emphasized to the local leaders when I'm going to meet them, there are 4 important laws that should be clear to you. One is the Constitution. The Constitution. 2 is the Local Government Act. Because, by the way, if you are a local leader and you don't know what the content of the Local Government Act, then I don't know what you are after. The other one is the land law, the Land Act. Very, very important. Then the other one is the Tenants Act, because these are issues that are always affecting human being. Then at your luxury, read the Police Act, because you see, by the way, there are certain things which our local leaders there presume that the police does, which is not true and which is not even stipulated in law. For example, somebody has a date, but he wants to bring such a person to police. It is not the duty for the police to settle issues of the date. It's not even the duty for the police to handle issues of rent. It's not even the duty of the police to hand over land. But the Local Government Act stipulates cases for which the local leaders can be able to handle. And I want to tell you, if we had a vigilant local leadership, there would be very limited role. I mean, there would be very limited cases reported at the police.
Very interesting things that you learn, because most of these cases end up at our village police stations. And seeing as...
Do you know why? They start minor, they are aggravated to attract police. I don't know why you allow something to aggravate. And this is something, please, let's emphasize on prevention. That's why for you, you are asking me, why are you not having a lot of drama during it? We don't want it. We are handling issues in their infancy. You know, when you tackle something at that level, you are preventing something of a magnitude to happen in future.
Handling issues at infancy, does it mean some of the cases that we've seen, for example, a viewer that came through and mentioned explicitly that we have seen a police, he says we have watched police who have been, he uses the word provoke and block Chagulanyi's campaign trails. Is it part of handling things at infancy? We've also seen what happened about, was it last week or 2 weeks back in Lera district with the Noop camp? Is it part of handling things at infants before they escalate to
No, that would have also that would have also not been. It's not good. It's not good. You see, I imagine you are a married woman. Do you think everything at your home is okay?
No.
Now, if they are not okay, is it always your neighbors coming in to intervene in your matters? So there are certain things for which you go in your conference room. You know, for me, my conference room is my bedroom. And you know, I call my wife the Right Honorable, because she's the right to me. Now, when I have any dispute, before children get to know, and even other people get to know, we sit in a conference room. So, in other words, people who work together, before the scenario of exposing each other on the media and the like, you first sit and settle. You know, when you begin exposing each other, it means you have not agreed well. So the issue of what you are trying to refer to is not an issue I would want to base on as a basis of handling issues at infancy. Two, my dear brother who is trying to invoke that we provoke, it is not our desire to provoke anybody, nor our intention. Because at the end of the day, when you put food on a plate, do you intend to bite your tongue before you swallow? If you get a hot, go to the garden. Do you intend to cut your toe? Those are incidentals which are unnecessary. So this business of saying we block or provoke, those are your terms. Because if we are supposed to block, first of all, why did the Electoral Commission give him the policemen to guard him?
Right.
We would have stopped him right from the word go here. Because it is within the mandate of the police once it suspects something. But that is not part of our mandate nor our role. So this business of saying because first of all, I hope I heard you well, that over a month, presidential candidates have gone into campaign. Do you mean to say this candidate talked about is not campaigning?
He's campaigning. So
if he's campaigning, then where does the blockage come up? So please, when you are trying to talk good about your person, don't bias us. For us, we are neutral. We are neutral. We are supposed to execute whatever we are supposed to do in a manner that befits the organization for which we are entrusted to work for everybody.
Indeed. You are watching UBC TV. It's Good Morning Uganda, and we're looking at the roles of the police, the community, and the candidates themselves who are part of this whole election season as we journey on to 2026 to vote for our leaders. Now one of the things that Afande Anatoli Muleterwa has just taught us, one that shocks me, is the fact that the Constitution mandates every Ugandan to have military training so that in case of anything and they are called upon to serve their nation, they are ready and available to go. Now, I don't remember taking any military training along my journey of school, and I'm not so sure if anyone called me right now. But let's stick to the conversation of the road to 2026. The best I can do is to report the news to you regarding the political field and the political scene and current affairs as they occur. Now, someone comes through and says, good morning, interesting discussion. In the road to 2026, I believe Uganda police should prioritize neutrality and ensuring a peaceful electoral process. The community's role in promoting peace and demanding accountability from candidates is crucial. Candidates should focus on addressing pressing issues like unemployment, healthcare, and infrastructure. Looking forward to seeing how these dynamics unfold. This is Humphrey Marofu from Munyonyo. Now, Afande, on this journey, how are you building trust amongst the hearts of the citizens to trust the Uganda police and other security operatives for this whole election to take shape as it's supposed to?
Juliet and fellow Ugandans, it is our aspiration. Because even when I come here and talk, how many people are listening and therefore taking on that is the way we all need to move. But that said, we can never desire to stray away from what we are supposed to do. One of the ways in which we can be able to move and build trust amongst Ugandans is by extremely desiring to pursue professionalism. Like in the past, in the recent past, you can see that of all instances for the whole month, whereas many of you would have desired to see chaos, and to me chaos does not constitute any news, rather it constitutes negativity. The police has done that. So we are constantly talking to our police personnel. We constantly engage with the political leaders. We constantly talk to the community. And even using a platform like this one, I imagine I'm reaching out to millions of Ugandans whom I am invoking to think about peace. There is no country that has ever harvested chaos. If anything, dialogue and engagement is the priority for which we need all to move. The other issue is that we shall at all times ensure that the police are always skilled on engagements, on handling some of the challenges that they encounter, so that indeed these challenges do not blow out. Because when they blow out, they do not in any way build us or bind us together with the community. The other one is that we want to call upon all Ugandans, because like you can see in the Constitution, you know, although the police is the leading agency in the enforcement of law and order, it does not guarantee peace without you. It can't. We can't guarantee peace without you. We can guarantee peace with you and cooperating with you and knowing that there is nobody who has died who has ever told you that, whenever I died, I came back and found this and so on and so forth. But for us who are still alive, are a testimony to what we are saying, because at the end of it all, we see the fruits of development through peace. We see the fruits of security through peace. And we see that working with the police is the way to go, because at the end of the day, when you wish us away, where do you want us to go? When we wish you away, where do we want you to go? Uganda is all ours. It's ours. Leave alone these slangs of talks and the like. No way. By the way, people who have not experienced any challenges will always desire to abuse police. But go and see how many people are going to the police because of social conflicts, social problems. Somebody has grabbed my land, somebody has done this, whatever has done that. Definitely, there are some individuals in the police who may not perform to your expectations, but that is not the organization.
Right. Phillips from Karamoja. Good morning, Afande and moderator. I have a concern that emanates from the role of the police being to keep law and order. Do you as police keep law and order, or you instead create a situation to cause disorder? That's the first question. And during these campaigns now ongoing, do police take cognizance of the fact that other presidential candidates, apart from that of the NRM, do not have means to transport candidates to the designated grounds for campaigns from sub-counties, and so they, brackets the candidates, have to reach sub-counties, stop on the way to communicate their campaign messages to the electorates? And then the problem with the police is that they don't acknowledge that and instead start creating the chaos By the way, God is watching what we say, do, and implement. What would you tell Phillips and Karamoja?
Thank you very much for the prayer that Felix has concluded, that God is watching. He's not only watching me, he's also watching you. In the first place, Felix's question about the means of transport for candidates, I'm not a part of that. I cannot be able to plan for them because they did not consult me when they were going to whatever. Mine is totally different. So please, Felix, if you are part of that, plan for that. Mine is to provide transport, to provide security.
And I think in this particular case, Afande, what he's saying is he's trying to paint a picture of the fact that these candidates do not have means.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Police that controls the area should be able to understand that they can't move as swiftly as they should, so they use available solution.
That's what I am saying. If Felix is cognizant of what takes place, there are some of these presidential candidates who even walk.
Right.
Has the police ever chased them? There are those even who move on a border. Does the police... So that's why I'm saying it is not part of what I'm supposed to handle. Mine is about security. You can imagine these presidential candidates have security. And that security was provided for transport by the Electoral Commission. Now, because police is lawful, and that is the first question which he was talking about, that we are the ones who cause disorder. Because even when they have preferred to move on foot, our guards abandon the vehicles. And imagine, these are vehicles which were provided to them by Electoral Commission, which are even serviced by Electoral Commission, which are even provided the fuel for by Electoral Commission. The allowances to those people are provided for by Electoral Commission. Now, when he's talking about disorderliness, do these policemen compel those people to say, let's move? Please, put where credit belongs. But it is your choice anyway. You can choose to criticize, but there are many millions who are looking and saying police kudos. And like you have prayed, I hope that prayer, you are not praying for me only, you are also praying for yourself. To have an introspective sight of appreciating certain things. You know, when you even desire something, don't exaggerate it. Don't. Because you know, when you exaggerate, it may lose meaning at the end of the day. So, as police, we are not about to lose our ability to handle every situation. And I want to commit ourselves on behalf of our organization that we are ready to protect you and ready to protect everybody and ready to enforce the law up to the letter, not selectively. Please, not selectively. If there are if there are isolated incidences, they are comparable to what I've told you. That when you go to the garden, you don't desire to cut your toe, but you know a hawk can sleep and cut your hoe.
Right.
Does that mean that you'll stop digging? No. So if there are those individuals, we have a mechanism of handling them internally, and we even make it accountable to you all.
Do you as police keep law and order? Or
Very well.
Instead create a situation to cause disorder?
Now, Felix has asked law and order. What is law and order anyway? When we talk about the law, the ability to enforce what is legally known and required by everybody. What is order is that you are doing certain things according to the way they are prescribed. Now, if that is the literal meaning of what I can be able to understand, tell me what we have done that is not orderly. Are we skinning dogs? What are we doing? We are providing security. Two, we are ensuring that there is harmony, generally. If you can be able to count down the road from the time when this campaign started, hasn't there been a great stride of coverage by which everybody and every person has reached to every person. The other most important part is you are the people who want to win an election. And by winning an election, you are trying to win the hearts of voters. Do whatever you are doing in a lawful manner. Police shall not campaign for you. You know, some of you want to kind of stage manage certain things by trying to insinuate what we are not supposed to do. No way. I have told you our role is clearly stipulated in the Constitution, Article 212, and in the Police Act. And at the same time, we enforce all laws, including the electoral laws that are handed over to the Electoral Commission. We do that in support.
Right.
Where you think that the police is not doing anything that is lawful, please, we are held accountable. We are held accountable. Yes.
Now, let's speak into the issue of youths. Given that Uganda is largely a youthful nation by population, that means there will be the most participants on ground when it comes to campaigns, even the voting process alone, it will be majorly the youth. What creative means is the police initiating to make sure that it works in a harmony with the youth energy in the country, in line with implementing what the law should be like, in line to maintaining peace on ground during campaigns up to election days? What initiatives are there?
Now, one is that I want to inform our esteemed listeners that the law talks about the protection of the vulnerable. And the vulnerable, I think, are clearly known both in the Constitution and in the local government, I mean in the Police Act. These include the women, the girl children, the elderly, those youth you are talking about, the refugees, the sick. Those are categories of the vulnerable. And therefore, as police, we are cognizant of that to exercise a law of non-discrimination. That whereas we do whatever we do, we must not be able to discriminate. It is incumbent, therefore, upon all of us to understand and do that, cognizant of that law. But two, we want also to call upon and invite you youth, please, whereas it is always known that you are the age of stress and storm, let your energies not drive you into a situation where you'll be compromised to misuse your energy. Because at the end of the day, the law is not discriminative. It will take you on. But to come back to the question you have asked, what plans have we? As police, and in particular the Community Policing Department, our community liaison officers, in line with the territorial police, have purposively identified the youth and began to engage them, especially on youth livelihoodness. How best can you be able to use your energy? Because you see, Juliet, let's not limit our debate only on elections. Life is beyond elections. Elections is just from now up to 2026, around the March. Because why am I talking about March? We shall have even other local government elections.
Yes.
But what will happen beyond that? Even besides that, do you mean to say you are eating and cooking elections? No. Do you mean to say you are sleeping and working elections? No. Life is greater than that. Therefore, I want to use this opportunity to invoke every Ugandan that if you talk about elections, it is just an inch of your life. Life is bigger and greater than that. So I want you not to imagine that election must be the driving factor on whatever you are going to do. After all, ask yourself, are you one of the candidates? Are you canvassing for support? But if you are not canvassing for support, how are you able to move from one point to another point? Who is facilitating you? What are you going to do there? So all of these are factors that really help you to inform you on what kind of life you need to live for a better Uganda. But as police, we have targeted the youth to engage with them. We have also made some of the youth to be part of our law enforcement mechanism. We have two categories. One, we have recruited some of them to join the police. Two, we have the election constables who are, and we need around 100,000 because they must help to secure elections. So our engagement with the youth is big and broader than that. But also, I want to call upon the very youth to tap into what government has put in place. Because through the Ministry of Gender, Youth and Social Development, there are a number of potentials for you there. And you see, Juliet, one thing you forget, when we talk about youth, some of those who are hearing, they think that youth, you will remain a youth in perpetuity. No way. I even talking to you was once a youth. Youthhood is a transition. Therefore, don't misuse your energy of youthhood now and abuse it now, because at the end of it all, it will cause problems of failure for you to look after yourself at the right time.
All right, let's bring this conversation to its close and share lessons from 2021, do's and don'ts that as the police force you have picked and you'll apply in this journey that we are on to the 2026 general elections.
The do's, the don'ts. One, we aspire to have a non-violent election. We aspire to have a non-violent election, which should be supported by each and every one of you. We aspire and practice non-discriminatory enforcement of the law through, you know, there is what we call rules of engagement. And under rules of engagement, we have the summary of the rules of engagement for law enforcement officer under the abbreviation of plan. Plan is that when we are using any force, we should use it proportionality. Two, when we are applying whatever we apply, we must apply it in a legal manner, legality. So whatever we are doing, the other one is that if we need to do whatever we are doing, it must be accountable, and that is what we do. And lastly, the end is necessity. Is it necessary? And I believe all what we do under plan is properly put into context. The other issue for which we aspire not to do is that we learned that our past was destruction because it limited our trust, it limited our relationship. We don't want to have that kind again, because at the end of the day, I've told you, you are a Ugandan, I'm a Ugandan. Besides putting on this uniform, I put on ordinary clothes, and I even buy whatever I buy from you. So what do you mean when you begin telling me, you're the police? I don't eat the police. I work for you as a policeman in this uniform. I need to love you. Love me, please.
Very interesting. He needs to love you. Love him, please. In other words, the police. Let's end it with a comment. Many of you are coming through, but time is against us. Hello, Juliet. Good morning, Uganda. I'm called Akasa Bakole from Kiriandongo district in Nyamasaha sub-county in Laboke parish and aspiring parish councillor. I have a question to Afande. I caught a thief with evidence and took her to police. The officer in charge made the thief to escape. Who should I blame?
If it is indeed true that you took a person to police and he escaped from police custody, Mr. Councillor, don't lose heart. Get my number 0753 56 1858. Please, let's share that conversation after this talk show. because that is a personal issue which I would not want to divulge into what we have been discussing.
All right.
Yeah.
Indeed, UBC TV here to inspire you and is here for you. That brings us to the end of this conversation. We shall definitely have a fun day back because the journey is still young. The journey is still young and a lot always happens. One thing for sure is peace is our #1 goal as a nation. We do not want to lose the gifts that we have and get to enjoy day in, day out. Up next is Ruben with JMU Sports. Good morning, Uganda, and be blessed.